Hello, students. My name is Sherry Peters, and today I'm going to provide you an overview of job search and networking strategies. So let's get going. The first thing that I'd like to mention to all students is you need to be prepared, right? Preparation helps you to be successful. I am sure of that. So for all of you today, I'm going to provide you preparation tools that you can utilize so you're ready when you start looking for internships or jobs. First step in getting ready is to determine what you truly want to do. What are your own values? What are your interests? What type of environments do you really want to work for? Which ones do you prefer? Later on today, I'll provide you the different resources you can utilize through the Career Center, which can help you to be successful. Here's a key. Develop your target list of employers. Who are your top 5? Who do you really want to work for? And who are 6 through 10 that you may consider? Make sure to research your organizations. And there's lots of tools, and I'll show you how prior to applying to roles. Marketing tools are essential for you to be ready. You'll need to customize your cover letter, your resume, in order to target each of those top 5 or top 10 employers. Definitely need to create a 1-minute commercial. This is selling yourself a little bit. When you're able to talk about yourself, what you have to offer, and what kind of opportunities you are seeking, that will put you to the front because employers will say, hey, this student knows exactly what they want. They know what they're looking for, and I know what major they are. So let's talk a moment about the resume. You really want to think about an opening statement, whether that's your objective, your goal. Perhaps for some of you, you also have a summary. Make sure to utilize action-driven statements on a resume. Instead of just simply saying, did sales, talk about how you were instrumental in continuous improvement with your sales. Or maybe you were the top employee because of the sales. It's really about the scope of the responsibility and having the ability to articulate that. Again, rather than just saying you did sales. Really, what was that full responsibility at that organization? Many of you have accomplishments now. Perhaps some of those will be added to that resume. It's not just jobs that are added to a resume. It can be many sorts of things. And lastly, utilize the specific industry terminology from the job announcements. For many of you, there will be a theme with different jobs that you're reviewing. Do you have those skills that they're looking for, especially in the STEM fields? Do you have the technological skills that are required for the role? If you've applied those skills, even in a classroom setting, they can be very useful. And for all students now, we have VMock. VMock is an online tool that provides students pretty much immediate feedback on their resumes. It helps to enhance the language on a resume. It helps you to describe statements of your job experiences or other areas on your resume. It's a very good tool. It's an AI feature, and I'll show you where you can find it at the end of today's workshop. You also want to line up references. These are people who can verify your work experience, your abilities, or your performance. It's not limited just to work experience. These can be professional individuals you've come across along your career path. They can be academic individuals that you know, or even personal business owners and so forth. So you want to line them up. They can be very useful, especially if they provide you a letter of reference ahead of time. That's another item you can add within your marketing tools. You also want to be ready to interview. So if you're looking for jobs or internships, got to be in that interview mode at all times. So often employers nowadays utilize phones for initial interviews. So maybe practice with a friend on a phone before you get that interview. That can be helpful. There are different techniques for answering interview questions, including behavioral questions or hypothetical questions. For students in the STEM field, there's also technical question interviews, and they give you a time frame oftentimes. So what are the techniques, and am I prepared for that? And there's specific questions that are often asked depending on your major, particularly in the sciences and also in engineering. So if you're majoring in those two areas, well, it could even be teaching too. They ask real specific questions for those industries. But we have an online tool, Big Interview, and I'll show you later on in the presentation how useful and powerful it can be for you. Networking. We should all be networking at all times. Who are we meeting? This helps you as a student to gain exposure to those different types of employers. Very often, these employers will give you inside information on what type of openings they're going to have in the near future. But networking helps you to speak to these individuals who are employed by those companies you would eventually like to work for, or those industries that you're interested in. Make sure you tell them what you're looking for, right? And share that commercial, share that 1-minute pitch about you, and follow up with them. If they ask you to give them a call or to email, follow up. A networking event, wherever you're networking, it could be at Starbucks, right? You may not walk away with a job, but you might get some leads, get to know individuals. Maybe there's some additional employers that person could introduce you to. And if anything, it helps you to enhance your communication skills and practice your own commercial and potentially showcase your marketing skills by showcasing your resume or a portfolio if you have something like that. Maybe you'll learn about different employers in the same industry that you weren't aware of before. And again, you can gather those business cards and follow up with them. Maybe look at a few of these questions here and think about it. Should I ask this type of question for the person who I'm potentially networking with? Maybe it's an employer and you ask them about those positions in the near future that they might be hiring for. It's not so much that you're asking for a job, but you're just curious about what they might have later on. Maybe it's asking that general question about an internship program. Some employers don't have formalized internship programs, but maybe they'd like to do it. So you've opened the door so you can market with them and also get them thinking that perhaps hiring an intern could be useful, and you might just be that person. So always remember to smile when you're with those employers or those potential networking opportunities. Be a good listener. Try and get that inside info if you can about what's going to happen in the near future. Be open-minded about opportunities as well. I know some students have specific areas that they would like to get into, but if you're open-minded, maybe eventually you will get there. And then it goes without saying to be respectful and gracious. Maybe they won't be able to offer any opportunities, but at least you met someone, and you never know what that lasting impression could leave on them. And later on, maybe you do get a call from someone they know in the field you're seeking. You got to make those personal connections, and that's what it's all about. You can always ask for those business cards and follow up with them. Send a thank you note. Thank them for their time. Thank you for the introductions. Thank them for the advice that they gave to you. Maybe it's a phone call. If they say, hey, call me in 3 months and let me know how things are going. Make sure you put it on your calendar. and follow up. Maybe there's an updated resume. Maybe you finished something. Maybe there was a project or some research that you completed. Sending that updated resume goes a long way. And if anything, it helps you as the student to expand your network. One of the best ways to network or to begin networking is utilizing Bronco Mentoring Network. I put the website below. This is an opportunity for you to reach out to Cal Poly Pomona alum on an online system, and you can ask those questions of those individuals. Oftentimes, they are people who have the opportunity to hire individuals. So I would look through that list, create your account. Takes maybe about 5 minutes to put everything together, set up your preferences, and so forth. There are also job opportunities that do get listed through Bronco Mentoring Network as well, primarily by way of alum. It's a great networking option for students. So Bronco Mentoring Network students under Cal Poly's Alumni and External Relations Department. So let me get to Handshake. This is an online tool that all students have access to. It's a great way to search for jobs, but there's so much more on Handshake. This is a job description. And if you've not looked through a full job description, you may have missed this box. If an employer is willing to receive messages from you, the student, before you apply to a role, you'll see a box like this where you can simply send a message. Hi, my name is, and I'm looking through your job opportunity as a XYZ, whatever the role is for, tutoring position as it shows here. And I'd like to know what the hours of responsibility would be on Wednesdays and Thursdays. Well, great. You've sent a message and hopefully Lisa White will respond to you. That's another networking opportunity. So utilize that on the jobs feature. But speaking of jobs, a couple of areas I want to just point out briefly. If you're a student looking for on-campus employment, you notice on the left side above the blue box, you can utilize Cal Poly Pomona and hit the search, and the on-campus jobs will come up for you. These are on-campus state jobs, and these are on-campus ASI jobs. Then you can apply. But you can also use this feature in the example I'm showcasing here. It states elementary school teachers, and I'm looking in the Pomona area within 26 miles of Cal Poly Pomona, and it's going to pull up a whole list of opportunities that are within my radius. And then you can apply for each of those roles as needed. A feature you may not have yet discovered on the left side of your Handshake account are events. This is such a great tool. Under the events, you can look for conferences and different types of events, networking, as well as hiring events and employer information and guidance. This is a great way to listen in on what those employers are seeking. This is a very, very brief example. We typically have about 80 different events, virtual for the most part, but they are listed here. And most of the employer events are nationwide events, but students can attend any or all that are listed in your area of your major area of industry you're seeking, or those that you're just curious about. It's a great networking opportunity. And you notice here for the center one, there's 157 students attending from many different campuses, and even twice as many for the McKinsey and Company event that was hosted. So utilize your events tab. It can be very, very powerful. Another tab I wanted to point out is the employers feature. I added the word Disney here, and I just showcase a few examples here. If Disney Television Animation in this first example is a company you're interested in, you may not see jobs from them, but you can mark the star and follow the company. When they post something, you will receive a notification. This is also a great area for you to review whether or not an employer is within the Handshake system. And again, this is nationwide. Many schools utilize Handshake. Our employers opt in to posting at our campus, but you can look for multiple employers under the Employers tab. So don't be afraid to use that. So earlier I mentioned Big Interview. This is a snapshot of the page where you can gain access to utilizing Big Interview. It's a web-based program, and it allows students to practice interviewing skills. You utilize your single sign-on to gain access. Once you're in Big Interview, as is shown on the screen, you can utilize the practice button. And I've highlighted the different sections that they have under the practice section. There are general interview questions, and there's about 10 different prompts. Industry, competency, admissions, governmental jobs, and veterans. You can use as many as you like, as often as you like. So I selected industry, the teaching profession, and I was looking for level 2 K through 12 teacher interview questions. Each of them has a plus on the right side. Most often, they will provide you with some additional information on how best to answer these questions. In this example, as I mentioned earlier, I selected K through 12 teacher. And whichever one you select, the screen will come up and you can utilize it to play the pre-recorded question. You can record yourself on your webcam if you like, but you're also not required to do so. But practicing really helps develop skills. For most of the questions that are asked, there is a tips button that you can use to gather information about how you could answer the question, or pointers so you can best answer the question and the reason why they're asking the question. The new feature on Big Interview provides students the opportunity to do eye calibration technology that will then provide you instant feedback on how you did for your interview utilizing the calibration. So the calibration takes about 20 seconds. It will prompt you to look in each corner of the screen as well as in the center, and you will keep clicking the button until each of the circles turns green. Once you complete an entire session, these would be the results. Whether your answer was relevant, whether you're on that path to answering questions, your pace of your speech, is it very fast or is it a little bit too slow? How often you say and is it very noticeable? The vocabulary that you're using, power words, as well as filler words for your interview. And this really helps students to develop their interviewing skills. One of the last features that I wanted to share with all of you is Going Global. This is a phenomenal website for students. Not only are there training modules and Culture Wizard area where you can boost your cultural IQ, but it offers lots of career guides anywhere around the world, jobs and internships as well. One of the best features are the U.S. City Career Guides. What this offers to many of you is an opportunity to find employers who often hire OPT or have H-1B job listings. So the way that you get to the Los Angeles area, if that's where you would like to work, is to utilize career guides, move over to the U.S. City Career Guides, find Los Angeles, and click onto it. Once you are there, you'll be able to click on the H-1B visa / OPT, and the employers will come up for you. Additionally, I like to mention to students to create your own personal account. The first time you use this, it will be a single sign-on. But if you create your own account with a Gmail or whatever other email you'd like to use, you'll always have access to Going Global. From here, you'll notice that there are multiple employers that have job listings or job openings, as well as the H-1B listings. I would encourage you to take the company name if it's not well known. In this particular example, Accenture is a very big name, but if you click on the current job openings and it takes you to Indeed, I would highly encourage that you go to the Accenture website and look for the opportunities through their own website and apply. Going Global is a service that we utilize. However, we check every employer before they're posted on Handshake. I'm not sure what the parameters are for Going Global, so be conscientious. And again, you can take the company names such as Acosta Incorporated. I do not know that company. I would take that name, go into Handshake under employers and look them up. If you are ever concerned about an employer, please make sure that you contact the Career Center. You should never, ever give employers a credit card, a bank account number, a check, or anything else like that. That is not a true employer. If you go through their website, then you know most often it will be secured. If you are not sure, please contact the Career Center first, and we will walk you through that process if there's an issue. But this is a really good tool to really find out who you may want to work for. All the resources that I just shared are located under our digital career resources. If you were to go to the Career Center homepage, in the search box, you can mark digital career resources, and this page will come up for you. And each of the sign-on pages will be within each BMOC, Big Interview, Handshake, Going Global. It'll be under each one of these arrows. Should you wish to schedule an appointment with a career coach, you can utilize CPP Connect to do so, and this will take you to that page. The last option, Focus to Career, is another great feature, not necessarily for job search, but if you're thinking about different industries and you're not sure if your major will fit within those industries, you can certainly take any or all of the assessments that are located on Focus to Career. The Career Center is located in Building 97, Room 128. Our regular office hours are Monday through Friday from 8 to 5. We do offer drop-in advising with our peer interns Monday through Friday from 9 to 4. The only exception this semester is from 1 to 2:15 on Thursdays. We do not have anyone available. In addition to that, the peer interns, as well as the career coaches, offer appointments through CPP Connect. So should you wish to have your resume reviewed, you can utilize the time frames that the peer interns have available to schedule that, whether virtual or in person. Thank you for the opportunity to present.